Welcome to Bannerlord Mechanics, a series where we dive deep into how stuff works but try to keep the videos short. Today's topic is what happens to kingdom's fiefs after the kingdom is destroyed. So for example, if Kusites have 5 cities and bunch of castles, what happens to these fiefs after the last Kusite noble dies? Typically this question is asked by players who are on rampage executing all nobles they come across. Being able to inherit fallen kingdoms every time would be extremely powerful, and being able to do such a thing would make Murderer's playstyle even stronger than it otherwise is. So of course, figuring out these rules was important for my World Conquest speedrun strategy, since I was planning on executing all the nobles anyway. In this video, I'll start by giving you a general overview of the inheritance rules, then I will show some examples in game to make these rules easier to understand, and I'll show how you can get the inheritance for yourself. And finally, we'll look at some weird cases where the game can screw you over and ruin your perfect plans. Let's get started. When a kingdom is destroyed, the game will look for one clan to be their heir, who will inherit all the fiefs that the kingdom used to have, so everything is always inherited in one chunk. First, we need to cover which clans are eligible for inheritance. The heir is chosen from all alive clans except mercenary clans and the player's own clan, so all AI noble families, rebels, and clans promoted by the player are eligible for inheritance. Then, all the eligible clans are ordered based on their geographical distance to the fallen kingdom, and the closest one is chosen as the heir. The distance is measured from the center point of the clan to the center point of the kingdom. I wrote a mod that I can use to draw pins at the center points, like the ones you see right now. Bannerlord is the name of the clan that lives in Hertogia Castle, so let's go take a look and see where their clan center is located. So this castle has 2 bound villages, and the center point is somewhere in between the villages and the castle, but closer to the castle. Here is another example, the Komnos clan. They own 2 cities and 1 castle, and their fiefs are in a nice line, so the center point will end up somewhere near Zernica. And it works the exact same way for kingdoms, so Battania center is right where you would expect it to be. If I take Seonon away from Battania and update the center pin, you can see it moves to the west. And if I take Utlaham castle, it will move even further to the west. So now we know that we are looking for the closest clan to the center point of the fallen kingdom, and we can kind of eyeball what the distances are. But since player clan is not eligible for inheritance, and we'd like to control all the fiefs ourselves, we need help from this third rule, which is that if the heir clan is part of a kingdom, all the fiefs are temporarily given to the king, and then they start a voting process to determine the final owner, just like when you take settlements in war. So now you might see how we can abuse these rules with our own created kingdom and promoted companion clans, and I will show exactly how it is done, so let's look at some examples next. So here Northern Empire is in danger, and their last remaining noble Lukon is my prisoner. You can see that all the cities and the castles have the Empire Eagle banner, meaning that they are owned by the same clan, the last clan remaining. And the Empire's center point is here. So what do you think happens here when I execute Lukon? Which of the surrounding clans is closest to this center point? And the answer is that when I execute Lukon, everything will turn Storgia. But it might be a bit hard to say why exactly that happened. So let me load back to a save before the execution, and I will show you another visualization that I made. So here you can see the 4 closest clans, their kingdom, and the distance from the center point. So you can see that Sturgian clans hold the closest, the second closest, and the 4th closest clans. Of course, only the closest one really matters. The only other clan that comes even close is this Southern Empire one, but they are clearly further away than this glowing clan from Sturgia. In this example, I think Southern Empire could have had it if they had one clan only at Chanopsis castle, but Chanopsis is owned by Ragaya, and she has other fiefs further south. So now let's try to use Atrion castle to get all the fiefs for ourselves. So we need our own personal kingdom, and we need a clan that owns Atrion castle. Promoted clan will do just fine. And now I have a kingdom with vassal clan living at Atrion castle, and that's all we really needed. So now if I show again the closest clans, you can see that we are clearly winning. So now if I execute Lukon, we should get everything. And indeed we do. And since we are the king, we get all these fiefs, but they will be put to vote. And I should also show that rebels can indeed inherit everything. So here we got rebels at Dathma, and the rebel clan is the closest clan. So now if I execute Lukon, the rebels will get everything. and this is one chunky rebel clan. So by now you should have pretty good idea of how the rules work, how you can use them to predict which kingdom or rebel clan is going to inherit, and how you can abuse them to get everything for yourself. But earlier I hinted that there is something weird that can happen, that can ruin your plans. But the rules are so simple, so how is it even possible that there is something unexpected that can happen? Well, it all has to do with what happens when clan loses all their fiefs. Where is the center point for a clan that lost all their fiefs? I'm sure it's something completely rational and easy to understand, right? Well, let's just look at an example. So this clan here, they own only the city of Poros, and if I take the city away from them, let's see what happens to their center point. Huh, where did it go? Oh, it's over here. That's interesting. Turns out that every clan in the game has a randomly chosen fallback position, which is their home if they lose all their fiefs. So this is where clan Leonipardes' center was while they still held Poros, and this is their fallback position, which is their home now after they lost everything. This position, as well as fallback positions for every other clan in the game, are random and completely different in every campaign. This visualization shows the randomly chosen fallback positions for every clan. Let's look at just the desert now and see if we can find some sort of pattern in the madness. I mean, we have this one Vlandian clan here, and we also have this Kusite one here. Oh, and this Empire clan would actually be very close to the center, so that might be important if you try to inherit Azerai Kingdom. But remember that this position only matters for the inheritance if Palladio's clan has lost all their fiefs. As long as they have fiefs, their position will be close to them. If we try to count the Azerai clans here, we can only see 5 in the desert. There should be 9 Azerai clans in total, and we can find the 4 remaining ones in the Empire lands. And the eastern part of the desert is curiously empty. I'm not sure what is going on with that. Here is another example from a different campaign, so you can see that they are completely different. So do not try to memorize these positions, they will be different in your game. And rebel clans actually work similarly. So when rebels are created, the game picks a random home position for them. Here, if I start a rebellion at Poros and then update the pins, you can see that a new pin just appeared here for Poros rebel home position. So let me try to demonstrate how you can get screwed by this system. Let's try to find a pin that is completely out of place. So for example this Kula wing here. This is clearly Sturgian clan and they are a long way from where they should be. So now I just need to take all the fiefs from this clan. The Glowing clan only owns the city of Omor, so let me just start a rebellion there. Now the clan has lost all their fiefs, so their position is reset to their home location in the middle of Western Empire. And they should really be a prime candidate to succeed Western Empire. So let's say that I as a player tried to inherit this kingdom by placing my vassal clan at Ordusia. So I go through the whole thing of creating a new clan from Companion. And everything looks good, there is no one even close. If you just look at the map, my clan is clearly the closest one. But little do I know that because rebels took Omor from Globing, my vassal clan is actually only second in the line of succession. So I get screwed here. And funnily enough, third in the line is this Leonipardes clan, from which we took Poros earlier. So you see that the inheritances can get really funky if there are a lot of landless clans. And rebels are really bad for this, because they often lose their city and then they just become a clan that can still inherit but is placed in some unpredictable location. So just try to reduce the number of rebels in your game if possible. So let's just finish this example. I still need to destroy the Western Empire completely and see that Sturgia actually inherits. And indeed they do. So here, in a weird way, Sturgia was the closest kingdom to Western Empire in this example, even though they are actually nowhere close on the map. And that is really everything I have to say on kingdom inheritance. It is a very powerful mechanic that gives mostly predictable results, but can sometimes screw you over. So I wish you the best of luck if you try to do this in your own games. The information in this video is up to date as of patch 1.7.0, but I don't really see Tailworlds changing any of this stuff soon. I could be wrong though. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.